17-year-old Nancy Noga lived in Saraville, New Jersey in 1999. She attended Saraville High School. On January 7, Nancy went to work at a rag shop store in a nearby town of Aldbridge, New Jersey. When she did not make it back home, her family got worried and called the police. They sent out flyers and immediately went searching. 5 days later, at approximately 9 in the morning, Nancy's body was found in a wooded area behind the Minimal Plaza shopping center in Ernston Road. She was found wearing a purple Arizona jacket, a dark V-neck sweater, blue jeans, black and white platform sneakers, and carrying a purple backpack. DNA from an unknown man was collected at a crime scene. An autopsy revealed that Nancy passed away due to blunt force trauma. Nancy's friends described her as a nice, outgoing girl who was friendly and helpful. She had plans to enter the military after high school and later attend college. When her body was found, it shocked the blue-collar community. Fear quickly spread, especially among girls in town who were afraid to walk alone at night. For more than 2 decades, investigators worked the case, but got no closer to catching the suspect. It was only recently that investigators made use of genetic genealogy that progress could be made. In September of 2021, Middlesex County Prosecutor Yolanda Ciccone and Saraville Police Chief John Zabrowski announced to the public that the case is now closed. 49-year-old Bruce Szymanski was arrested at his home in Barnegat, New Jersey, in connection to the case. His DNA matched the DNA found at a crime scene. He is currently being held at a Middlesex County Adult Correction Center awaiting trial. John Zabrowski had this to say: "This arrest is the result of decades of hard work by so many detectives and officers. We never stop following up on leads, and today with the arrest of Bruce Szymanski, we are one step closer to bringing a degree of justice and closure to the family." 47-year-old James Summers lived in Jefferson County, Missouri with his 47-year-old girlfriend, Alice Wise, in 2004. Just after 8 p.m. on April 27, the police were called to their home. Officers found James's body against a detached garage. He had been shot in the back and the face. About 20 feet away from him was the weapon, a .22 caliber handgun. It belonged to his girlfriend Alice. Investigators decided to question her. She said that she was in the home showering when she heard the shots outside. Neighbors claimed to be outside around the time of the shooting, and no one recalled seeing any unfamiliar faces in the area. A recreation of the shooting also revealed that gunshots would not be audible from the shower. Alice also gave conflicting stories. Investigators asked her if they could test the robe she was wearing for gunshot residue, and she told them that she had to go to the bathroom. When they told her no, she claimed that she shot the handgun earlier that day for the first time in 20 years. She also told a cousin 4 years after James's life was taken that she had always been curious if shooting someone was as pleasurable as sex. She also said that if she was ever arrested, she would pin it on her father had recently passed away. When the cousin asked Alice why she shot James, Alice replied, "There is little difference between love and hate." Despite all this evidence against Alice, investigators decided not to arrest her as they felt they needed more evidence. That all changed in 2021 when a press conference was held by the Jefferson County Police Department, where it was announced a 65-year-old Alice Wise had been arrested. She is still proclaiming her innocence. Let me know in the comment section if you think she is guilty or not. Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt had this to say: "While getting the current violent crime issue under control is incredibly important, it is also crucial that we do not neglect or forsake the often forgotten victims of violent crimes whose cases have not been solved or have gone cold." 15-year-old Farrah Carter lived in Broward County, Florida with her family in 2002. They had recently started renting a house on Southwest 27th Street. On May 22nd, Farrah was home alone. Later in the day, her mother and sisters entered the home. they made a gruesome discovery. Large pools of blood covered the tile floor and the wall of the family room. A chair was knocked over, a glass jar shattered on the floor, and a couch had been pushed across the room against the window and blinds. In Farrah's bedroom, her family found her body. She had multiple stab wounds. Investigators found a shoe print inside the house, and also an ATP tour hat that had not belonged to anyone in the family. A man across the street told investigators he saw Farrah talking to a man at the front door on the morning her life was taken. The man wore a hat similar to the one found inside the house. He tried to make his way inside the house, but he gave up and left. It was then believed that the same man later made his way into the house successfully. A $1,000 reward for information was issued and flyers were sent out around town. Investigators also tested items they had collected for evidence, but were unable to make any DNA matches. The case soon went cold. In 2019, investigators decided to make use of genetic genealogy. They submitted the items they had collected into public DNA databases. This time, they found a match. It led them to 56-year-old Joseph Pollard. He had a long history of violence against women. In the summer of 2004, just 2 years after he took Farrah's life, he was sentenced to life in prison for an unrelated crime involving kidnapping and burglary. Before that crime, he was involved in a lot more crimes, but never spent a long time in prison. In May of 2002, he was a free man on probation when he made his way to Farrah's home to end her life. He is currently serving his life sentence at a Taylor Correctional Institution. Farrah's family appreciated the fact that the case is now resolved, but the development did not ease their decades-old pain.